Meow.
Hello, 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 everyone, and welcome to another session of Chimera, Cape and Blade, Season 2. That's a mouthful. I should have probably taken a breath there. I hope you are all ready to join us on another adventure, so go ahead and switch your blades and sharpen your capes, because here we go again. Angela, why don't you introduce yourself? Took you a second there. Everyone just went on mute and started laughing. Okay, great. Hi, I'll do the intros for everyone. Hi, I'm Angela, also known as
No,
Phoenix
no, no, no.
124.
I'm cutting you off right there. You're not. I got to do it for me. You don't get to do it for me. It's not how that
You're gonna be
works.
missing one session one time, and I'm gonna do it for you. Just watch.
Try me.
All right, bet.
I am here through sickness and ill health.
Oh, I thought you were going to say you're going to send a pre-recorded intro to us to play.
Don't tempt me. Okay, that tangent aside. Hi, I'm Angela. I will be playing Yolanda Moraga. She and I both use she/her pronouns, and I'm playing the primary hopeful and learned book for my secondary playbooks.
Awesome, awesome. Morgan.
Hello, I'm Morgan. I will be playing Gallivander, our weapon and devout. A how do we put it? A regretful now sort of priest who is still kind of trying to figure out the whole uh mission from divine being thing.
I'm
Also, a
sure.
lot of regret.
Yeah,
A very healthy dose
Filled
of
with
regret.
it.
I mean that's both staples of the weapon and religious figures in a lot of mediums. So there you go. Also, I was very confused for a second there because it felt like Gally was getting like a vague southern accent when you started speaking, but it's fine. Alex, you're next.
I'm Gallivander.
Yay.
Uh, so I'm Alex. My pronouns are he, him. I'll be playing Tamal, whose pronouns are she, they. She is a living statue who uses the Protector and Innovator playbooks.
Hell yeah. Awesome, awesome. And finally, last and probably not least, B.
Yeah, hello. It is I, your non binary busy bee. My pronouns are they, them, and I'm joining you playing. O's pronouns are she, her. And I'm looking at her character sheet again, and wow, did you know that I have shapeshifting? Because I didn't. I'll take advantage of these things. And O is always joined by her patron, Eight. Eight? Yeah, he hangs out. His pronouns are he, octopus. And he'll talk when he's ready to talk.
So when you remembered the voice. Anyways, hi.
No, it hurts. Not a
Hi.
good voice choice.
That leaves me. I'm Ramirez. I am your GM. I use they, she pronouns, and I don't have a character, so I have to kind of play whoever else is around and keep my wit as sharp as our capes. With that all established, yes, that was all a setup for that pun, Angela. I know you're giving me that look. It's fine. Don't worry about it.
Do you mean Angela or do you mean Alex or both?
Ah, I mean,
Either one of us will tag team on that
see,
one.
see, Alex is giving me a heart. You just don't. You're the one who reacts the most to my cape and blade jokes at the start of every session, and you're gonna have to keep dealing with them.
But wait, we have before we start, we have an important announcement that you need to throw in.
Oh
Do
yeah.
it. Say
Okay.
it. Say
Okay.
it.
We can do it. We can do it. So let's see. I've been. Uh. Uh.
We're gonna kill me. I'm not gonna suspense.
Doing? Uh. I've been recording some things. I got new streams starting up. Oh right, Chimera dropped. This game that we've been playing. It's on itch now. You can go check it out
Hey!
by a few places, but the easiest way to get to it is if you type play.chimera.games into your browser. You get right there. It's super simple. Uh, and then you can check out the playtest. Yeah, everything that we're using for this stream for only $15. And there's also community copies every time someone buys one. The community copies kind of run out the moment they're refilled. So that means a lot of people are interested, which is awesome. But if you want to check it out, you can keep an eye out there. In the meantime, though, for our own story, let's jump in to a world, or more specifically, a moon, upon which a whale rests, upon which a superhero base rests. This superhero base is where we find our group. A guild designed specifically for superheroes, not tied to a specific location or island or area of the surface, but rather who are willing to respond to calls when people need it, to towns where they don't have their own heroes readily available for every crisis. This guild is now the home, temporarily at least, to two new members. Two other constructs from the same creator as one of our own, Tamal, who have now been brought along, as they are bound literally by life force to Tamal.
Yes. Or at least Sophia is.
Yes.
And Adam is along for the ride.
Yes. Because Adam is not going to leave Sophia alone, because they are the only they've been the only thing for one another since they escaped the creator. And so they don't plan on changing that anytime soon. The rest of our group is also there. All of us having been summoned by their handler, Cyril, who is late. What is everyone doing as you're waiting in the meeting area?
Napping. It's kind of amazing because Galley's fallen asleep on the floor.
It's probably more amazing because Adam has a lot of energy and is probably making a lot of noise and distraction, and very excitable about like all the construction in this space, because we established that it's designed to specifically adapt to all sorts of different beings. The chairs can swap form. It's got like an aquatic vibe to it, but like still can fit all sorts of architectures and artworks and pieces of culture and home brought by people from all over. And this has our young, excitable Badger Wolf construct who has seen precisely 2 villages. Super excited.
That's so great. It's like he gets a little world tour of all the different things.
Exactly.
Who's giving him the tour? Tamal, you wanna? Yolanda. Okay, so it's gonna be an educational tour, not just like, here's how the chairs work. Watch this, watch that.
Right.
I think like that's O's only contribution. It's like, but check out the chairs.
I think it's more of a like her instinct is to want to go the like educational route, but as is the cliche of every single time like a highly informed person tries to do the highly detailed like thing, that she very quickly figures out that's gonna bore the small construct. So I think she like, I imagine if there's different sort of bits of locale, she's pulling from her books and summoning like an illusory sort of extension of that locale. So like
cool.
It's not it's very much the idea of like sometimes when you have a museum sort of tour, it's something divorced from its context. She has I think enough learning and studying of various kinds of histories to where she's like, oh, that looks like so neat and like so fun to do. It's like I'm imagining like maybe like a massive like lobster pincer claw or something in like one section. It's like, wow, do you use that for homes and stuff? And she's like, actually that's and shows what it used to belong to. It's like this was actually part of a very terrible attack that happened on a seafaring coastal town that happened that's a bit a ways. That's what was left.
That's awesome.
If we follow you around, are we gonna get to see stuff like that, like in person, like live, like happening?
Part of me wants to say yes, and
Yes,
part of me wants to say hopefully no.
Yes.
In the
Oh,
distance,
and what's this? What's this?
you hear, "Hey, I can make my hand into a crab hand. You want to see?"
There is a like full 180 turn immediately, and like they do the meat rat thing with his head, where he just like pops and starts scooting over. Like he's looking towards you and starts shuffling over, so it's like he's walking in like parallel to himself.
I mean, I haven't shown a lot of people yet. I don't really know why. I think it's maybe because I have to have like the part of the me that has to transform has to be in water, and they're gonna look around, and I feel like because we've got like an aquatic vibe, there's just like ponds and
Oh
like,
yeah,
stuff like that. So O is just gonna like stick her hand in the little pond, and underneath the water, it's gonna turn into a crab hand. Pincers.
yeah. Can I touch? Can I touch? Can I touch?
Yes, and then she pulls it out, and it's the regular hand. Whoops. Okay, hold on. Underwater.
Oh, okay. And he tiptoes over to the pool edge, looks over, leans over really cautiously.
Was it cool?
Oh, they're like really strong. Like it feels kind of like here. And then he grabs he finds a nearby stalactite and like pokes his hand on it and like reveals some of like his circuitry. Like it feels like what's inside me. Like like real solid, hard to break.
Can I touch?
You go to and like the healing has already started working and like it's healed up. He's like, oh, 1 second, and he just does it again.
Okay, I'll be quick. Quick poke. Very cool. Wow. Huh. You have to teach me that sometime. Maybe I'll teach you this crab stuff.
I don't know if I can quite teach you this.
I think it works like that for sure.
Okay.
Right,
No,
right,
no.
right, Yolanda?
You just see her, like, meanwhile, while that whole exchange happening, she's been holding up the illusion because she has to actively focus on some of the illusions. So she's just been like, I'm not certain that's actually how that works. God, this crap, why were you so big?
And it's
Galley's
like
still
the whole.
sitting on the
Okay,
floor.
before we address that, Tamal, what are you doing this entire time?
I think I'm working on a present for
Oh.
Sophia.
Okay.
Remind me, because I feel like there was something with their face. Did their
Yes.
face get like damaged or something
No,
in the fight, or
no,
what was going on with it?
So there, so
It's like it like swings out on a
its
hinge.
face, yeah, can swing out open. That's
Yeah.
how it absorbs magic. That's where a lot of the runes that bound it to its imperative and to absorb magic lie. Its face is also like the rest of its body is it was clearly the first attempt of making something that looked like Adam, but the creator gave up halfway through, and so it is half humanish, and then half just bare metal robot.
Yeah. So I think what I'm doing is I'm working on like a second half
Oh.
of their face. Like I've got some metal that I'm heating and I'm like taking it out and hitting on it with a little hammer. And I'm basically crafting it so that they can like fit it on like the other half of a Phantom of the Opera mask, and it'll like keep their face to like latch closed,
Yeah.
so that their vulnerability can't be as exposed.
Its vulnerability.
Its vulnerability can't be exposed.
Perfect. Yeah. Do that, and Yolanda, you say, "Why do you have to be so big?" And for a second, you think the crab responds, as she says, "Well, we wouldn't have kept the lobster. We wouldn't have kept its arm if it wasn't so big." And Cyril steps through the illusion. Glad to see you all made it. Sorry for the delay. I was dealing with a situation in one of the training rooms. You know, for a place that is mostly designed after underwater settlements and with a very high percentage of water, it's surprisingly flammable.
Amazing.
I'm imagining if this were like a cartoon like cut where it goes to like Yolanda's like thought bubbles. You just see like several different like quick successions of her like pulling up from reading from a book, like waving a few words, and you just see like explosion. She's like, that didn't work. And then it happens for like 3 more cuts. She's like, you know what? I understand entirely.
She just smiles and nods back. Luckily, disaster wasn't in the cards today. Get it? Anyways, she pulls off her fedora and just tosses it onto like a nearby coat rack that wasn't there before, but is now and perfectly catches the fedora. And she walks into the center of the room. All right, everyone, gather around. It's time for a briefing.
Okay. Pull up a chair, flip it over 5 times. I need, fold this, flip that, turn that. Okay, we got a chair that works for me.
Does points towards 8. Does he need a separate chair or?
Hey, 8, you want a chair? No, I'm sleeping. Okay. He's sleeping.
Yes, we caught that.
We can hear you, surprisingly.
Oh, okay.
You see her like, there's like a deep full body sigh as you just see her hands. She just like summons a chair over to her and she just sits down
Whoa.
with everyone else.
Are they gonna wake up?
Yeah, when he's needed. You know, he's kind of like consuming. Oh, what was our? Hold on.
It's an energy tie, correct? Or it's essentially
what I
like given.
thought.
Oh
take
no, I was
sort of
talking
thing?
about Galley. Sorry, I wasn't talking about 8. I was talking about Galley.
Oh, Galley? I don't know. Galley, gotta wake up.
What?
Hold on, I can throw. And she's gonna take her boot off and throw it like at your chest. Wake up. Did it work?
I caught it. I just
Oh,
like
you
catch
caught
it.
it, okay.
Yeah.
The question is, does Galley catch it awake or asleep?
It's a good question.
Because Galley might have the reflexes to catch something else.
I'd believe it.
Probably it's like you just like see like catch and then it looks like it's gonna slump over and then like you probably like Cyrus is like it like says something and then I like kind of like groggily roll up.
the like sleeping snot bubble, like when it finally pops, that's the sign of finally waking up.
All right. Well, now that I have all of your attention, as I'm sure you're all aware, we've mentioned before that there's been a slightly higher incident rate recently that spread us a little thin, which is why we needed to send you out in such a hurry to deal with the situation. And it seems like you've dealt with it and come back with 2 new friends.
Mhm.
So, congratulations.
Thank you.
Yes, it's good to have them here with us.
All right then. Well, I'm glad it worked out. We've been looking into it more. There have been increased incidents involving constructs, but there's also been an increased rate of general constructs appearing, not necessarily in violent incidents, though that has also been the case, but just overall more constructs appearing in regular places the way Tamal did.
Who's making them?
Well, isn't that the question?
Hear that, Yolanda? I asked a good question.
So,
Sigh.
since you're so eager to ask that question, you'll also be in charge of helping find the answer to that question.
I just joined this group and you're gonna give me such a cool responsibility?
The group will have the responsibility, yes.
Oh, not just... Okay.
You can be in charge of taking notes, so.
Okay, I got paper and pen somewhere. I'll write it on the table with my... Hold on, I can... And like
you
they'll
can
dip their hand in their cup.
Yeah, I was just gonna say you can. I'm sure 8 can give you some ink.
Hey, can I have... you said... Okay, but... He's kind of eating all my angry energy right now. I guess I'm angry. I don't know where it came from. Huh, so weird.
You should tell him to give some of it back for the ink.
You know what? Here. And he throws you a card. You can have my business card.
Whoa.
On one side, it's got like Sayrish, card shark, magician, illusionist, superhero. Now, if you flip it onto the back, it's a business card, so it doubles, and when you flip it, it pulls out, it just like grows out, and a pen pops out. You can use it for notes, any business purpose you need. A business card. Anyways, we have tracked down some of the patterns with these constructs. We've identified some that seem to operate similarly to you, Tamal, as well. with a magical harp, but that's not uncommon. Um, it's hard to identify specific details about the crafting of the magical harp, how that's done, and who might have the specific magical signature to do it without, people who are familiar with it and or trained magicians, and we only have so many of those. Um, so it's hard to tell whether they are all made by the same people, copycats, or just a general increase in construct interest. But one of the patterns seems to lead to an abandoned temple on, well, it's not really in one specific place. Um, how many of you are familiar with the Wandering Temple?
Is it in the water?
Sometimes.
We might have lore of it. Tell me about this.
So here's what I will say. Gally, you definitely are aware of this. While not tied to your deity specifically, it operates in a similar domain, and therefore, it's not a temple to a specific deity, but rather an almost sentient entity. It's not quite sentient in like it communicates to you type of way, but it is an entity that acts of its own accords, much like a superbly powerful supernatural being might. It is a temple that teleports from location to location. No one has identified one pattern for how it gets there. Generally, a lot of folklore seems to have it as it appears when someone is in need of a place of refuge or a place to seek guidance for a temporary bit. It appears to them as a shelter. Sometimes it's appeared before natural disasters to help provide like a safe place while it blows by. And sometimes it just kind of appears for festivals, for random middle of the weekdays. That's the Wandering Temple. I don't know, Yolanda, you might be aware of this from an academic background. I don't know, Tamal. You might have some folklore from it, from the water, from its appearances in the water. But yeah, up to you.
Is it sort of like almost like a religious monument that just shows up at specific points for like festivals and days of significance, or
It does that sometimes. Sometimes it'll show up on random days. Sometimes it'll show up. People will claim it showed up when they needed it. Sometimes it shows up randomly. People just decide to check it out because it's there. Every time someone thinks they've ascribed a pattern to when it shows up, the pattern is immediately broken by the next jump.
That's awesome. It has a sense of humor.
Word doesn't like being followed.
I mean, yeah. You don't know me.
Just constant rebellion phases.
Yeah.
Oh, you think you understand me?
You don't know what I am.
just a phase, Dad?
Generally, it is a religious site. Though, here's the other thing, depending on how much knowledge you have, you may or may not know. Since the uplifting, it's been damaged. It was on a portion of ground that got separated during the formation of the Sky Islands. And so its jumping has been much more erratic, and people haven't really gone into it as much since, just because a broken temple does not serve the purpose that they want it to.
I think in water lore, we've heard of that temple, but nobody has seen it ever since the uprising, the uplifting. Two very different words that sound the same mean very different things.
Be about to establish that there was a revolution in O's hometown.
I was about to say, because like, if it could legitimately be called the uprising in the water side.
I've got different terms for things, you know?
Yeah.
We do things differently. But why is this important? What
Well,
do we need to know about this, Sharish?
almost every time a construct has been sighted, the temple has been sighted there a little bit before.
Oh.
We think it's possible, perhaps, that someone is deliberately using the temple to transport the constructs, or maybe the temple is now specifically responding to these constructs for some reason. Either way, that is the lead we have.
Could it Sorry, could it be that the reverse? Um, we found the construct in this case was after how do I put it? I guess a local deity, and is it possible that that it's reversed and that the constructs are critiquing the temple instead?
That could be the case. Well, that means that dozens of constructs have failed, and perhaps would mean caution might be advised for your own entry onto the temple.
Well, I don't plan on failing this time. I smash my fist in my hand.
Whoa.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like it's very difficult to find it willingly, or at least there's no. Every story is about accidental happenings and things like that.
Have stories the temple would show up when we were mostly in need, when towns would be attacked by great shark warriors, and then that temple would be there as a sign of refuge. It was always a good thing. I can't imagine it being bad now.
Actually,
Well,
Tamal,
hmm,
I have an idea.
go on.
Oh no.
Maybe we need to give it an offering of sorts.
Like what?
Well, the most or the fixed feature about it since um the uplift is that during the uplift it became damaged in a way, or that it's scarred from the incident. And you, my friend, are quite the skilled builder, creator, repairer.
That's true. Especially if this place is as benevolent as we hope it is, I would be happy to repair it.
Well,
If I feel like it's our best shot to get it to appear, but it's still a long shot.
well, sounds like y'all have a plan. Looks like we. Looks like I. Looks like I stacked the deck with the right people.
This is my first month in the guild. It's going great.
Also, a word of advice.
Uh-huh.
I would be careful about ascribing mortal concepts of morality to a traveling temple.
Why not?
It obeys its own whims, and it doesn't exactly have legs.
But it sounds so kind. Well, it did.
I mean, it is an entity that acts for its own purposes, whether that be in response to the belief that is placed or whether the belief came as a result of its actions. Who knows? But its conception of nice and our conception of nice could operate on entirely different planes.
I understand that. In the water, we would. Everything is alive, even if it isn't alive, and you treat it with kindness, and it will treat you back with kindness. You know, I was best friends with a pack of kelp for a while.
How'd that end?
Well, honestly, I think it floated to the surface after some time, and then we never saw each other. But you know, the time we spent together was really good. You know, we made bracelets, hung out, blew bubbles.
That's pretty charming. I think Tamal is like quietly grinning to herself.
Well, I'm glad you were able to make a meaningful connection.
I'm gonna do the same with this temple. Can't stop me.
So, Cyrish, when you brought this up, did you have some sort of plan for how we would get there, or is there anything the guild's research has turned up?
Well, since you asked. Sarish pauses for a second. We can't track where the temple will show up. But we can track where constructs will show up. Whatever protections are placed on the temple to make its pattern of movement unknowable doesn't extend to its passengers. And she starts shuffling a tarot deck as she says that.
Nice.
And as she continues, she goes, by the laws of causality, if the temple is where constructs will end up, if we know where constructs will end up, we know where the temple is.
Well,
Okay.
we have 3 constructs here. Do you think it'll show up here? Could it be that simple? I like to look out the window.
No, if our hypothesis that it is transporting these constructs is correct, or if Galley's hypothesis that the constructs are chasing the temple is alternatively correct, either would imply that the presence of a construct deliberately interacting with the temple is what dictates the temple's location. Or, well, the temple's location dictates their location. Either way, it's intertwined. But since you are not particularly seeking the temple, you would not be the one the temple has found.
I suppose that makes sense.
And she slowly pulls out a card from her deck. Curious. And you look down at the card, and it is the Floating Forest. Floating Forest is a card that honors the places that were uplifted and yet none of us reside. Chances are you'll find the temple somewhere outside the bounds of cities and towns. Well, I'll leave you with that. If you need to contact me, here's my calling card. It has my number pre-dialed into it. And she
Oh.
drops it on the table.
Is the number just like 7?
Yes.
42, I'm gonna be mad, or whatever the
Ah.
guide number is.
7 cross 6.
And as she picks herself up, and here's a spare one just in case, and she slides it towards Yolanda. Bye-bye. And she walks away.
Oh, okay. I think my brain kind of melted for some of that. What? I know I'm in charge and I'm taking notes.
I look at the notes. Did they just drop off in the middle?
Yeah, at some point she started to draw. Does Charisse have any? Like, what is she wearing? 'Cause when I think of her, I just know that she has really cool clacky shoes.
Yes. So we've established. So if I remember her outfit, besides the fedora, which she picked up on her way out, she has crop top, short shorts, a long coat that she wears open, and then flip flops that she has magically enchanted to make clacking noises, so they sound like high heels.
Oh my god.
Okay.
That was not where my mind went. My mind was just going through like 15 different outfits from FF14 and just finding which is the most ostentatious of all of these, and or the most comfy.
Okay, so I think O was just drawing 8, but with a fedora on his head.
Gosh.
Well, my notes aren't very comprehensive. We'll quietly put the book back, or the notebook, or the notepad back down. Collared, I think it was.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh, that's kind of cool. I give that drawing an 8 out of O.
Ah! Add it to the fun counter.
Oh.
Now I'm
goodness.
just thinking of math and and the problems with doing that.
Thinking about math is a mistake, I say.
I was like,
Ooh,
suspicious.
the master of math.
That is why I can confidently say thinking about it is a mistake.
Every person that masters their discipline can very confidently state it's a mistake to think about their discipline for too long.
The longer look, okay. If you think about math, two things happen. one, either your head hurts, or two, you get cool ideas. And that's dangerous, because then you have to do things with those cool ideas. That's how you end up with a game with 18 playbooks and a new dice system.
I was about to say that sounds like game design, but you finished that
Yep,
thought for me.
Yep. Well done.
Game
Anyways.
design is also a discipline in which the farther you go into it, you also start thinking, don't think about this for too long, just do it.
Yep.
Anyways,
We'll stand up, knocking the chair kind of over behind her. Okay, where are we going?
Well, it looks like we're trying to find someplace outside of civilization. I guess we can just sort of take a little tour around and try to find some interesting, desolate places.
You
Ooh,
also
I
had
know a lot of desolate places.
you also had a plan to make an offering, which I don't know if you still want to do something with.
Oh yeah, that seems fun.
Yeah, I feel like it's like a two-pronged plan. We need to find the fertile ground and then put the offering on fertile ground.
Do you all want to go find where I kind of rose from the water and traveled onto your weird land? It was very desolate.
You know, that sounds very promising, actually.
Sure.
Yeah.
At the very least, you'll get to tell us a nice story when we get there.
The story of how my village was destroyed, and then I escaped and rose to the water to become stronger so I could avenge them. But yeah, I'll tell you the story along the way.
Yeah. Right.
It's just like the exchange of looks between Yolanda and Tamara, just like,
All right, do we take the space whale?
but
Sophia finally speaks up, and it says, "Sometimes you fish for a story, and you find tragedy."
That's
That was really
very
good.
true.
You are basically from. Are you from the water?
In response, it holds out its flamethrower arm and just lights a small fire.
Okay, that was a good reminder. Thank you. It's easy to forget sometimes, you know?
It is easy to forget in the heat of the moment. Ha, ha, ha.
Damn, our pun game.
Each
Oh,
laugh
okay.
is punctuated with a flame burst. Because it talks through its arm, remember? So its laughter also triggers the flamethrower.
every
That's
flame
amazing.
burst, you just see Yolanda slightly flinch, given that she and Tamal had to take or tried to block the full flamethrower blast. So it's just like,
Yeah. Well, the one thing before we go is I think I remember last session we were talking about like doing glyph research at some point.
Oh yeah.
So we probably should do that before we leave in case we run into another construct.
That's right. We were gonna do that.
If you two want to go do that, Yolanda, I have something that I've been trying to figure out. I could probably use your help.
sure, I suppose.
Galley's got the look of, wait, hold on.
I was like, wait, hold on. This is not how the group should be assigned.
I mean, it works out. Like, Galley and Tamal at least have to prepare the offering.
that's
So,
true.
It works out not for the reasons O set out, but it works out.
I just mostly mean like if anyone needs to research the glyphs.
Should be me, because someone actually remembered the scholars in the party.
Nonsense. All
For the
right,
first time.
let's follow O and Yolanda for a minute. Oh, where are you taking Yolanda?
We're gonna go over to a pond, and she's gonna gesture at the water. So you know that I'm from the water, and I kind of came up here to get strong and fight my enemies, and you know, in order to get strong, I joined this guild, and it's been really cool. You know, I met some cool people, like I met you all, and that's been lovely. But I can't really do my powers unless I'm underwater, so I've been trying this thing where I control the water and then I encase myself in water and then I can turn into the things that I want to do. But I just wanted to, like, you always have these cool ideas and you're always using the thing inside your head, and I just wanted to ask the thing inside your head, is that a good idea?
Are you asking if, in general, do my ideas work out, or are you asking for assistance in trying to learn how to manage that ability?
Oh, I need help. I
I
definitely
can
need
see
help.
that, dear. It's more me asking which specific kind of
Oh!
help would you like?
Oh, with my powers. Never had to
Okay.
use them a whole lot. I've always already been in the water, so like the shape shifting part just kind of happened. And now that I'm up here, I've got as a whole other layer to it. I don't really know what to do. And honestly, eight's been useless. I just like other than like consuming all of like my sadness, which I've got a lot of sadness. Tragedy does that to you, but it's all been consumed. And I'm just this bubbling ball of energy. But I still have some concerns that he can't quite eat, and I don't know what to do with those concerns.
There are a few different responses that I have to that. I will try and go through them very quickly. Number one, dear, do you talk to people very much about any of the things that get eaten away?
Oh no, because they're consumed.
But do you not try and process them at all?
No.
That's I will be frank, that's not necessarily the most healthy approach to living, I would say.
Oh,
But
well, sacrifices have to be made. I needed power, and this is what I had to do for power.
right, dear, but sadness teaches us far just as much as any sort of joy or power does.
If I ever feel sadness again, I'll be able to confirm or deny that.
That disconcerting statement aside, um, if you're looking for a way to try and have a much more mobile way of having access to the shapeshifting powers and such, given your need to move through environments that aren't explicitly water or aquatic based, I might have a solution for that.
Do you?
Oh, well, yes, and you see her. She like raises her hands out from like she grabs a book from a bag. She lets it float above her, and then she like pulls energy from it, and then it makes like a little amulet. So, whenever I
Well,
need to go on long journeys, I do what most mages from where I grew up and studied, do. We create what are called foci, or a focus.
okay.
Most stories will tend to tell you that you need this in order to cast, but that's absolutely hogwash. Casting is just an extension of people's will. Magic is an extension of one's emotions and connection to the world. What a focus is just one way of concentrating that. So we might try and apply the same kind of logic to your situation, where if the problem is simply you need a mean to have the water available,
Hmm.
perhaps we can use the same kind of logic to use the focus to act as a conduit of water even when you're far away from it.
My brain shut off again. Okay.
Hold this.
Uh
You
huh.
need water, right? Water.
Yes.
This is like a water bottle to hold it so that you can use it, tap into it. It won't be for forever, but you can tap into this and you can have mobile water at any time.
What? Could I try it now?
Well, we could give it a shot. I haven't fully made one in a while, so this might be something that comes down to a matter of good fortune on our part. But I've had a decent history of making a few of these.
This one's very pretty. Nobody's ever given me a pretty amulet before.
Yes. Also, the design for it looks like a collection of little silver, gold, and like obsidian sort of rings that are styled after different phases of the moon.
Ooh,
So,
very on brand.
but it always looks like because your hand is still because O's hand is still wet, right, from like having put it in the water. When water droplet falls on it, a different ring will actually light up just ever so slightly. So it
Love that.
shifts through all the phases of the moon over time.
Perfect. Amr, would you like roll to see if this is value?
It's
Like
yeah, that I'm leaving it up to. I didn't want to automatically assume it would just
yeah.
work. I leave that up to
Hmm, hmm, hmm.
the ruling by Amr.
Let's think about this.
Because I imagine it's something Yolanda has done a lot, but
Yeah.
it's been a little. The reason I said it's been a while, and it's for something she normally does it for illusory magic.
Yeah. I think that's fine. I think this is something that is reasonable.
Okay, so it's within her view. It's within her purview of magic.
I think so. Especially because there's no urgency. Like, if you had to make one of these in the middle of a combat, maybe there might be some, like, stress. But, like,
Mm-hmm.
you've got time. There is no pressure
Yeah.
beyond your overwhelming anxiety and concern for O, which is a lot of pressure considering there should be a lot of anxiety for O. But, like, beyond that, you're fine.
It's fine. 8 took all of it away.
Exactly. What's anxiety? I've never heard that. I've never felt that before. Sounds fake, right?
The O stands for oh no.
Yeah. She's just never given you her last name.
But yeah, she holds it up here, dear.
Thank
I-
you.
I don't quite know if you aren't the fighting type, if I recall from our last situation. But if you can find something to graft this onto or to stick it onto and keep it more consistently around you, you don't have to do a wand or any of that. Everyone just associates wands with us for some reason. I've
Huh.
never understood it. I've preferred a cane or a staff. It's much more impressive.
That makes sense. Wands are not a thing under the water. They don't. Not a lot of good mobility with the water tension, you know.
If you would like, there's a fishing spear of some kind will work just as well.
Very cool. But give me a second. 8. I need you to eat this. Oh, I was sleeping. You want me to eat what? It's an amulet. Please just eat it. Fine. And then 8 will eat the amulet. Okay. I have it forever now.
It's just like, not even just full body. It's like from head all the way to toe. Like just.
I feel like that's the transition to Galley and Tamal.
The breath just transitions to a galley yawn as they're still waking up.
Good.
Yeah, that's so good. And I think Tamal is she's got, or well, you do you have a plan for how you were going to help me out with learning like magic rune making?
Absolutely not.
Okay, cool.
I just remembered, wait, we need this. And I
Yeah,
don't
we
know
did need
anything
to do
about
that.
this, so I should probably just ask someone else about it.
It's very fair. I think maybe we're talking to our other friends about it, because maybe they know something about it. Because I learned a lot of my my knowledge of, like, you know, tactics and defense and stuff from the books that my creator had, so maybe they learned something from some books our creator had or something. Or at least I want to check with them if they know anything about the rune magic that they have on them and stuff.
Oh yeah. I know a lot. Look. And they pulls out a piece of chalk and just scribbles on the floor a rune or an attempt at a rune. So I think this is a this is either a protection rune, a warding rune, which is similar but slightly different, or a self-destruct rune.
Does that mean the rune destroys itself, or does it make whatever it's on destroy itself?
I don't remember.
Why don't we erase that one and try starting a little simpler?
Oh, okay. How about this one? He erases it out. Okay, this one is either enhanced mobility, or gives sentience to the entire building.
Well, I mean, this building is sort of already sentient, so I don't think we want to do that, since it is on our space whale here.
How about don't we go to binding or directions?
Oh, okay, yeah. And so he erases it out and draws out another rune. Okay. This one is either a binding rune, as in, you know, to bind someone to another person, a binding rune as in to bind someone to their directive, or a binding rune as in to take a bunch of papers and then sort them out in order and put 3 rings through them.
Amazing. I tried putting a stack of papers on top of the rune.
You feel like a slight magnetic pull from your tool belt, and a piece of metal like flies off from it and turns into 3 rings that punct perfect holes for the paper.
Oh, we figured that one out. This is good. This is good.
Oh. That's not super helpful for us, is it?
Well, you never know. I'm sure Yolanda would love it. She's always looking for more papers to take notes on. And also
I thought
has
you were gonna say
a new
papers to
interest
sort.
in. That would be great.
Flashback of several instances where she's just like, it's like, am I a wizard or a bureaucrat? There's just like stacks of papers she's trying to put into different places.
Oh, that's so good. All right. Well, what I was hoping to do was learn how to like inscribe runes onto some of the tools and weapons that I can make so that they could have different capabilities. Like for this repair job, trying to repair this temple, it seems like it would be a lot of work, even for one as tireless as me. Maybe I could enchant a hammer so that every time it hits 5 times, something like that, right? Um,
Or at
so,
least modifying existing runes.
yeah, you never know what's going to be on the temple already. Maybe that's why it's so messed up. It had some runes on it that got broken apart when it was damaged. So I think
I,
yeah, maybe we can do a little montage of like trying out a rune and seeing if it works and that sort of thing.
I would like you to
Have-
roll something for me for this.
Yeah, that totally
I
makes
have
sense.
a start to the montage that has no impact on success or failure.
Oh,
Okay.
please do.
I hand you a bucket.
A bucket.
And I think I don't know. The galley didn't want to feel like explaining. You know, they just give you the thing, and then you like look like
Huh?
blankly. You're like, why? Like, magic mortar, and just hands it to you.
A magic mortar? Do you
Oh,
mean a
wait.
mortar like something
Is
that
mortar the right word?
shoots things over a distance, or something that you grind things up in?
No,
Yeah,
no.
that's what I was confused about. I was like, do you mean like a mortar, magic mortar and pestle?
No,
or what?
not that. But like, I was not mortar. It's the one that you can pour to like bind things together. That
Oh, I know.
Cement?
I know what you're talking about. Like when you have like molten, it's where you melt like a metal into it so that you can then pour it into the casting basin.
Oh, like a crucible?
Crucible,
Kiln?
kill. Oh.
Let's
Yeah,
everyone
like
furiously go to Google search and
Yeah.
check these
yeah, it's like
terms.
crucible. I think it's
I think
like,
crucible. Crucible is the right word. A ceramic or metal
Yeah,
container in
like,
which
there's
metals or
also,
other
like,
substances may be melted or subjected to very high temperatures. Crucible.
Aha. Cool. Yeah.
All right. Tamal, I would like you to roll me one of the fantasy moves. Knowledge is power.
Ooh.
So go ahead and roll me plus logical.
Oh boy. I am not great at that. Oh, I guess I'm not terrible. I got a
Uh,
D6 plus D4.
yeah.
So I got.
wait, is there a way to upgrade that by helping?
Yeah, since you're helping.
Oh,
an
that
item
seems
cycle-
great. Please do.
Go ahead and roll 2d6 instead.
Okay.
Or roll. Yes.
Yeah, we 2d6, right? Yeah, because we just upgrade
Yes.
one die size. Yeah.
Yes.
Uh-oh.
Oh.
My D4 rolled a 4, but my 2D6s rolled a 2 and a 2.
Oh well, that's not.
So you got nothing.
It
no
was
matter
a
what.
downgrade.
Yeah, you got.
That's okay.
So we get a very silly montage. It's not going to get you any closer to actually solving this problem,
Uh-huh.
but it is fun. So what do y'all get up to?
Yeah. I think we're trying to do an enhancement to this bucket so that it can hold molten metal, because like it would melt normally because of whatever it's made out of. And so there's just a series of like wacky hijinks with like I'm heating up molten metal in my forge and then letting it out into the bucket, and it just melts right through the rune and goes onto the floor, and we all start freaking out, and then like we try it again and it like hovers above the bucket and doesn't go into it, but then it just like runs off like an invisible force field down the sides, and it's still ruining everything. And like, yeah, there's another one where like I open the metal and it just starts going up like over to the ceiling, and we're like, ah.
Ooh, I got another one. I think we tried to have like make a rune on the bucket that like prevents it from like hardening and it does not work, and in fact hardens faster instead of slowing the hardening process down. So
That's
we're just
great.
like turn it over to pour, and it's just stuck.
It's just stuck.
Good, good, good.
That's very good.
Also, quick Google is did grab the right word for mortar. I was thinking of the like construction like material, like the
Oh.
black tar that you're like
Ah.
pouring on
Yeah,
stuff that
gotcha.
like holds
Right,
things together.
right.
That's what I was thinking of.
Nice.
And I think for the final one, good old fashioned catches on fire. You throw the bucket into a nearby pond, and Sophia looks over, reaches down, grabs the bucket that is now full of water, and goes, "Well, well, well."
Oh
And on that,
boy.
we're gonna take a quick 5-minute break.
Damn. There's just a heavy clunk as my stone hand goes onto my stone face.
We will be right back. So get stretched, get yourself some water, but don't go anywhere because we'll be back for some more action. All right, everyone. See you in a little bit. Wow. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back to Chimera, Cave and Played, Season 2, Episode 3. I hope you are ready for us to jump right back into it. Honestly, I'm surprised it took us this long to give water to water. That's a joke for all you French speakers.
Thank you.
Anyways, with that out of the way, I hope you are ready to swish your blades once more and to finish polishing your capes. Let's do this. We're going to open up with all of you descending upon a spot. Oh, why don't you describe the spot for us, since you so kindly volunteered to guide the group here?
Yeah, totally.
Yeah. And you
gosh,
totally saw this was coming the moment you said that you knew a place, right? Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Uh-huh.
But did I prepare in my brain anything? No, why would I? I think this is a place with a lot of what are those bugs that have the lit up butts?
Fireflies?
Fireflies, thank you. My brain was like light bugs.
Okay.
That's not the term. No, you were totally picking up what I'm putting down. So the first thing that kind of comes into vision is fireflies. Too well. And then you see the trees, and they're all leafless. And it's a portion of land that has nothing but dead grass and dead trees. But for some reason, there is like an army of fireflies. They just light up the entire area. But beyond that, there's nothing as far as the eye can see, just water, water, and water. But all that lives here are these cute little light up butt bugs.
That's actually kind of serene.
That's a
Or it
little
was
odd.
until a whale crashes into it.
Yeah.
Carefully lands.
The whale, like, crash landing in magical whale transport means it hovers above it, but
Uh-huh.
with a rather sudden stop.
Everyone goes like, "Whoa!"
I like how our whale has vertical takeoff and landing capacities,
It's a
like
VTOL
a
whale.
highly advanced plane.
Magical.
And then its mouth drops down, boom, to the ground, and we can all walk out of it.
Wait, tongue stairs.
Yeah, that's a classic.
Speaketh, and it shall be so.
Angela did not like that.
Uh,
Just
you
a
know,
little moist,
I will
fine.
say that it has a particular mouthfeel.
Oh, we'll give the tongue a pat. Thank you so much. You're always so good at this. Wait for it to like roll back up into the mouth.
Like a carpet.
Yeah.
It does that. The whale's mouth closes, and it just closes its eyes as it goes for a nap.
Nice.
All right, we're here. This is where I first came to land. It was kind of a weird place, you know. I expected to see all you two-legged people, and there were just bugs. And we have these bugs underwater. I mean, they're a little bit bigger, and the lights are on the front of their heads, but you know, same idea.
Awesome.
What do we do now?
Well, I guess we try to summon the temple here by offering to repair it.
Where did you land, exactly?
And they look around, and I'm trying to think like what would be like a good marker. I think there's a tree that has been chopped in half by something a little jagged. And O will point over at that broken tree. There, right there. You see that tree? I broke it.
I like look at O's current anatomy and look at the jagged edges, and look back, and look at the jagged edges. Interesting.
Just imagining like summoned like I'm thinking of like the Maori-esque like shark tooth like edged clubs, but just a whole arm of that that just cut it in half. And I'm just like,
Oh, I remember you.
Hello?
I don't like how you treated me.
mean?
I mean, you could have just left me alone, but you had to cut me in half.
I had to make sure we're still strong on land. And test confirmed.
Yeah,
I could
we all
super
clearly
strong.
saw that.
I'm glad you remember. How are you doing? Broken? Bent over? A little.
Uprooted.
Yes!
Well, I apologize on behalf of my friend here, Honorable Tree. If you'd like, I am.
Nothing honorable
something-
about me, kid. Come over here and I'll show you that I'm got as much bite as I do bark.
It's true. Gotta watch out. Razor blade, really.
Well, nonetheless, I would be happy to restore you to your former dignity. And I get out some of my like repair tools. I think I've got like some woodworking type tools.
The tree lets out a noise of a shrug and goes, I'm fairly certain if you repaired me to my former dignity, that would be a downgrade. But if you're fixing to fix me, I'll take it.
All right, I'll give it my best branch. I don't know. I'm not good at.
I was
Perhaps
so
Wordplay.
close to Maul.
perhaps branching out into puns isn't your way to go.
All right. And I like sort of like lift it back up so that it's mostly in place,
Yep.
and start working on it to
And-
see if I can fix it up, because I do have like straight up superhero level
Yeah.
creation and restorative abilities.
Yep,
so
yep.
hopefully I can fix a tree.
I want to whisper two things into Tamal's ear.
Okay.
Whisper one. I go on to one side of you. So, don't worry about restoration. Just make him look cool. Moves on to other side of ear, or actually goes back, realizing that phrasing was probably not helpful. Like, what I mean by cool is, you just have to give them a form they like, not necessarily fixing. Back to other side. Also, we can. This is part of the offering. Sorry for the pressure. And then he slinks away.
She's just like hammer paused like mid tap, and it's just like, what the heck does any of this mean?
Comes back. Yeah, it's an example to show the temple. Slinks away.
I
Okay.
can't believe Morgan's reading my GM notes,
Amazing.
which
I'm
is
picking
incredible
up
because the
what-
GM notes only exist in my brain and were written about 5 seconds before Morgan said those words.
I'm picking up what you're putting down.
Thank you.
That's great. All right. Well, I will give it my best shot. I think that
Your best branch.
yes.
Also,
best
Alex, can you
shoot.
move back from the mic a little? You're getting a lot louder than everyone else.
Oh.
Yeah,
That's-
that's better.
Okie
Yeah.
dokie.
You were over voluming everyone.
So I think what it looks like as I am addressing this is I'm just taking it like very slowly and carefully. It's sort of like if you've ever seen that show, The Repair Shop, where they're like carefully fixing tiny
Mhm.
little things, and I'm like pushing little bits of it into place and like smearing unguents on it and stuff. So it's a nice slow process of carefully repairing the tree.
The entire time the tree's looking over at
It's looking.
just you wait. Moment
Oh, no, wait.
moment I'm out of here. Moment I'm fixed up, we're going for round 2.
I'm ready.
Amazing.
You can't step into the ring with me. I've got more of them than you can count.
Wow.
You know what? When we step into the ring, I will have one pun ready. You just wait. You wait, tree.
Well, I've waited 20,000 years. I can wait 20,000 more.
Oh, it's really
This whole
good.
process is happening. Yon is just sitting there trying to research another idea she has, and you just like hear her under her breath saying something like, "I didn't realize how many headaches could stem from one tree alone."
Ah, amazing. Okie dokie.
So, I
So
think you
what
can
should
just
I
do this.
roll for my
I don't
tree
think you need to
fixing?
roll
I
for
just
this.
do it.
Yeah.
All right.
So
That
after a
makes
bit of
sense.
time, the tree fixes up, and suddenly the entire tree like rolls its shoulders. The branches move. Oh well, I'm feeling right fixed up. You're real good at what you do, aren't you?
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Could you offer them some flatter tree? Ah, dang. So close.
It just goes right over my head, and I'm like, no, it needs to be round. I don't. I gotta make it round like it was before.
Well, here's hoping your attempts bear fruit. Here's hoping your attempts bear fruit. Oh, and turns back to Tamal. You know, you're quite a skilled craftsperson. I wish you luck with your whole. What were you saying before? You were offering to repair someone else.
Oh yes, if you happen to know any large teleporting buildings of a mischievous nature, we're looking for one to help it out.
Me? I'm no one. I'm just an old tree. But I'm sure with a little belief, you can find what you're looking for. And from the tree, a bay leaf floats down onto your hand.
Aw.
Amazing.
Would you look at it?
Yes.
Look down. Just a normal bay leaf.
I look back up again.
There's a temple.
Flip it over. Oh, damn it.
Hey!
Ah, that's my cue. This island's not big enough for the two of us. And the tree uproots itself, looks around, and
walks
jumps off the
away.
edge of the island.
Guess it wasn't so sedentary. Was that it? I think I did it. Okay.
He really had to make like a tree and jump off the island.
Wow. Yep. Tamal getting better every day.
I'm doing it. I'm becoming a humorist.
So funny. Wow. So this is new.
Yeah, what's the temple look like?
That is a great question. The temple looks like. How do I phrase this? What do you imagine? Okay, let me put it like this. The temple is a doorway. That's it. There's just a door behind the tree. What do you see when you think of a door that reminds you of what you believe?
So like that.
So like that.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Is it of what? Is it leans towards cynical side or optimistic side of belief?
It leans to whatever door you would picture that for a place or a thing that embodies your beliefs. Your beliefs, whatever they may be, whether they be religious, spiritual, cultural, personal, moral, whatever most strongly is held within you.
Interesting. Okay. Let me think about
Yeah.
Cool. Well, I think Tamal has fairly you know, idealistic superhero-y like standard views that she got out of like reading books and things. So I think for her it looks like a place that is for like protection but is also still like open and inviting. So it's kind of like a big stone archway that is going up and over, and it has maybe some carvings of like clasped hands above the arch.
Beautiful.
I have an idea for what Yolanda sees.
Why am I
Yeah.
scared? Because you look scared. What is your idea?
So, I like the idea of keeping the archway as a motif for her door as well. Hers, it looks like it's two different pieces forming the actual archway, but both of them are made up of what looks like cloud-like material. One is letting out like small bolts of lightning, and the other one is just making sounds of thunder. And beyond it, it looks like it's 3 bookshelves, but one bookshelf is right in the middle and 2 other bookshelves on the side. One side looks like it's like a trick of the light where the proportions seem kind of off whenever she looks at it. And then the other one, it almost looks like they're bookshelves, but there's much more like imagery and like actual bird cages in it that look like phoenix, like little phoenix chicks. And the side with the illusions is slowly like being consumed by fire and being like burned away, but it's not spreading to the other side. That side just, and she keeps hearing the phrase "let it go" like happening, coming. If you even, I swear to God, Amr, the moment I said it, I regretted it. The moment I said it, I knew it.
Not singing
But
it, not singing it. Just
she's hearing that, and it's not. She's hearing it in Jupiter's dad's voice, but it's not antagonistic. It's almost like it's trying to be reassuring.
just let it go. It's okay.
Yeah, and
You can't hold it
but
back
it's being
anymore.
said exactly. I would like to formally submit my resignation from this entire campaign. But that's what she sees.
Perfect. Who wants to follow that up?
Oh,
I will.
go
Okay.
for it.
Mostly because there's accidentally weird synergy with what I
Oh.
planned.
Okay.
So let's keep the arch theme going. So mine is instead of like a stone or like constructed arch, it's instead a bunch of vines coming up and down in the shape of an arch. However, instead of them being a tight knot of like plant mass together, it's a lot of um, scattered vines. So it's like there's a lot of breeze and air that comes and flows through them. Um, and the ground behind it is not quite desolate, but it's definitely like patchy. There's stuff, um, but like so there's grass here and like dirt here, that kind of thing. But it's never in the same place. It's almost like every time the breeze blows, the grass moves with it, and it's always like all of the landscape sort of shifting around as the wind blows. Um, and I swear I thought of this before Angela said this, but you just hear like another disembodied voice going, "Easy come, easy go," and like just when Angela said hers, I was just like, "You gotta be kidding."
I see we work in
Amazing.
similar and similar narrative tropes.
Yeah, I guess so. Apparently.
Right. And finally, oh, what do you see?
I think the arch is made out of coral. It is a thing that lives. There are blooming flowers all around it, and you can just hear the sound of waves crashing into each other. Beyond that arch, you see the ground is covered with pure white sand with shells kind of speckled through. Some of the shells get up and move, and you can feel the waves, but you can't see them, and like the air pressure as it moves back and forth, that becomes like a tangible feeling. Yeah, we'll go with that. I don't think there's any voice except for the occasional snores of 8.
Um, and to add a corollary to that, there is a little bit of ink seeping around the bottom of the arch. But yeah, that's the entrance to the temple.
This is so pretty. I don't ever remember the stories describing it all like how I see it. I didn't think there was gonna be coral.
Coral? I don't see that at all. It's sort of a sort of a warm brown stone.
What? You can't see this living. It's alive.
I go up to touch the arch and like run my hand over it.
To you, it just feels like perfect craftsmanship. Like the type of thing that would keep someone safe forever.
Hmm. What does it look like to O when I'm touching it?
That's a good question.
I mean,
My
there's a,
hand like stop before it gets to the coral.
Probably
there's a
like lightly caresses the coral.
Yeah.
there's a more mind melting one that Galley can do
Oh
actually, which
yeah.
is so Galley is same like Assassin's Creed style, but brown dress as usual, except this time walking stick, because why not? Um, and I think as they're saying, it's like, well, every story describes a different entryway. I think we now know why. And I poke from what my point of view is a gap between the vines, which for both of you it means that my walking stick is going to pass through solid object.
Uh,
That's awesome.
so
It's
you
like you're
poke
going through a coral hole for me.
you
So
poke
nah.
your walking stick between a gap between the walls, and just the vines sort of part around it. You'll Tamal, you see Galley tracing out one of the protection runes with their walking stick. Uh,
Oh,
Oh
that's
cool.
Yolanda, you see one of the clouds absorb the walking stick. I see you
That's
trying to
really
challenge my quick
fun.
thinking skills, Morgan.
yeah. I'm impressed.
Nice. I'm gonna oh, I'll pull out the 3-ring binder from earlier and a piece of charcoal and I copy down the protection rune.
Perfect. Do you all step through?
I'm
Yeah.
ready.
Oh.
So you all enter inside, and you find yourself in a shattered courtyard. You find yourself in a piece of ground that is uneven, disjoint, unconnected, one hovering above the other, the walls crumbling around you, the brick all sorts of material with no core identifiable essence. But there are a few pathways out of this courtyard, deeper into the temple. The door you came in through is not currently there.
Tamal's kind of looking around and she's like tapping the charcoal that she has against her lip thoughtfully and she says, "Okay, this is going to be a bigger job than I thought."
What do we do? Do we keep going forward?
Do we start here, one step at a time?
I'd say we might want to investigate first. I can start taking some notes on what we'll need to do. I think that's probably the best way. I'm like drawing out a little diagram.
As you're all having these thoughts, you're interrupted by a sudden whoosh as through the area where y'all stepped through, where the door was, comes crashing through Adam and Sophia.
Yay! I was wondering if they were going to come too.
Hello.
Hi, okay. Adam like picks himself up. Huh. So we were just waiting outside, but I guess this place was too far away, and they just kind of pulled Sophia through. Like, when you stepped through, Tamal, it just felt like something was trying to pull it, and then it came flying through, so I grabbed onto it, so I wouldn't be left behind.
Oh, that was very smart of you. Oh, not you, oh. That
Oh,
was just an
okay, good.
exclamation.
Oh yeah, it's so difficult. I always get them mixed up.
Well, I'm glad. Oh, what did that door look like to you when you came through, by the way?
Adam thinks for a second. It looked. How do I describe this? The right half was artificial. It was constructed entirely out of machine components. like a mechanical arch, and then the left half, the left half looked like just, I guess, a regular door frame. Not really sure what counts as regular, but that's what I think counts as regular.
Fascinating. And how about you, Sophia? I'm like helping it up off the ground.
It shakes its head. I did not get a chance to see.
Well, maybe we can check again on the way out.
So where are we going?
Exploring.
Yeah.
Okay.
We are cave explorers.
Is it where we're going to see a giant lobster?
Yeah.
Let's go, let's go,
One
let's go,
way
let's go,
or
let's go, let's
another.
go, let's go, let's go.
We might even meet other constructs like us, too. We heard that they might be here, or they might be trying to find this place. They're somehow related. For all I know, our creator could be in here, and that's why we haven't been able to find them before.
At that thought, like, so the emotions that go through Adam's face, like when you're like, maybe meet other constructs, there's like excitement and curiosity, and then you say, maybe the creator's here. There's just panic in his eyes.
Oh,
And immediately, like, Sophia, like, steps in front of it, and it, like, holds its flamethrower at the ready.
I think at that, at seeing the panic. By the way, Yolanda's been at the back of the group ever since seeing the door. The wings that she summoned before when she landed during our first episode, they've been out. She didn't try and do those on purpose. They've just appeared, like as a reflex,
oh,
because she was stressed. And she just like bends down more fully. Well, actually, I'm trying to remember how tall Adam actually is, because I think Sophia is pretty decent height, but I forget how tall Adam is. That might be a question for Amr.
Adam is relatively short. Adam is child-sized.
Right. So yeah,
and child-sized for a badger wolf, which I think would be on the shorter side of average.
him being a badger wolf just makes me smile every time you mention it. It just makes
So
me
good.
happy. But like, I think that kind of snaps her out of it, and she just kind of like bends down
Mm-hmm.
a bit, and there's probably like almost like radiant light coming off of the wings in her body. She has no idea any of that's happening. Everyone also knows she doesn't. She's not aware of any of it,
Mm-hmm.
and she's just like, this place might try and show you things that you might not enjoy or might not be there at all. It's one of the most basic tricks of illusions, is sometimes to get people to convince you something's real, it shows you either what you're most afraid of or what you most want. Be careful. And stick by us. We won't let anything happen to you.
Yolanda, I would like you to roll a comfort your companions.
Oh, yay.
It's kind of what I thought.
I think this is going to be either with optimistic, because you're speaking from the heart and being open to this child. Though I could hear an argument for something else, since you're drawing on knowledge and experience.
Yeah, my inclination, if you're okay with this, one is either optimistic
Mm-hmm.
or logical, but with a condition of upset that she's holding back, because I think there's a lot that she doesn't want to acknowledge about what she saw.
Okay.
So whichever one you think fits the narrative.
I'll
more
allow that. That
appropriately.
sounds fun. Let's do it.
So that would mean D8 and a D6,
D6.
instead of the two
Yep.
D8s. So yeah, so I'll mark the condition of upset. Because yeah, she's...
What's a few conditions between friends?
Is that anxiety peak again? Well, apparently, even with disadvantages, I roll like a god. That's 13.
That's 13 out of 14. All right. Well, let's see. So,
Actually, kind of fits for what 10 plus lets you do.
yeah. I'm just checking something real quick. So on a hit, they can, since they're an NPC, the equivalent of what they're gonna do is he smiles. You're right. Okay. Yeah. Um. You're right. You know, if I want to see the world, I have to be ready for some weird things, right? If we're going on adventures, like adventurers, then we have to be prepared for adventurer traps, and illusions are adventurer traps. Spooky temples. We're in a spooky temple. That's not scary. That's cool. That's awesome. Yay!
Yay!
On a 10 plus, you can also clear a condition of your own, or add them to the fellowship pool. And on a 13 plus, you take advantage forward the next time you work together with Adam.
Yay! I comforted a child, therefore, good things happened. This is proving itself already very well.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, you've also given yourself really good advice too, so that makes a lot of sense actually.
Yeah.
yeah, and I think that like oddly enough, it works for wanting to get myself upset, and I think that helps clear it as well instead of like it's her saying that, and I think she doesn't notice it either. But all the feathers for the wings were like this super sharp, deep blood red, like 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 blood's been spilled, and but as she's like comforting him, they turn to like more tinges of like red, white, orange, and yellow, like all the colors of flame, and then they like retract back in. She still has no awareness of any of that happening.
Perfect.
That's really cool.
And as you like sit there after a bit, you notice that hovering above you is Sophia. As like when you went into like to like comfort Adam, it like moved defensively on instinct, but like it hasn't done anything because it noticed that you're actually trying to help Adam and not hurt him. But it's like we've just also established that Sophia is tall. It is like equivalent or maybe even taller than Tamal. I don't. And so you've got this giant construct looking down at you, giving you space, but also probably still unintentionally imposing.
Flamethrowers ready.
Yes.
Yeah, because I think Tamal is like 7 or 8 feet tall, but I
Yeah.
feel like Sophia is a little spindlier.
Yeah, I think Sophia is like 8 to 9, but spindly.
Nice.
Wig versus log.
Yes.
And does it have the second face half that I
Yes, it does.
fashioned for it? Nice. Cool.
Okay. Yolanda, Adam, are you two ready?
Yeah,
We're exploring a cave. It's not
let's-
that spooky.
remains to be seen, but let's see what happens.
I'm ready.
So you said Amir, there's multiple paths, right?
Yep. As far as you can tell, there doesn't seem to be any distinguishing features about them at this point.
Or do we plan on splitting the party or going all one path?
Oh, I can help with this. Eight. Hey, I need your help. I need to use your senses. Eight, wake up. I'm awake. What do you want? We're stuck at like a crossroad, but instead of one cross, there's like multiple options to go. And I don't have the senses or the ability to figure out what is in our best interest. We're looking for, maybe somebody or something, just something of interest. Could you maybe point us in the right direction? Fine. Hold on. I gotta contact the Pact of the Spirit. Hold on. Let me go talk to Undine. And then like listens to like static for maybe like elevator music.
Okay.
So yeah, do you want a roll for this? I was actually reading
Yeah.
my character sheet.
Yeah. Looks like you're gearing up for using Pack of the Spirit.
Yeah.
Okay.
Nice.
So, for that, you're gonna go ahead and roll with Valiant.
Okay. That is D8. Okay, and remind me, because it might be about, I don't know, 100 to 250 years since I've played this game with y'all. I'm rolling my attitude and my condition, right?
Correct. Well,
Okay.
do you have a condition marked for?
No.
this?
No.
Then you just roll your d6 and d8 for Valiant.
Thank you. Seven?
7. Cool. So, on a 7 to 9, you can ask one question from the Use Your Senses list. And additionally, since you're using Pact of the Spirit, you can always ask, what unique insight does my familiar grant, regardless of the other results?
Perfect. Yeah, so what impression do I get from these tunnels?
The impression that you get from these tunnels is wrong. You get the impression that you are perhaps seeing the tunnels more honestly and more falsely than they have ever been seen before. In that you are perhaps seeing something closer to the architecture that built these tunnels, rather than what people usually see. But in the same time, that is not true to what the temple is. And that means what the temple does is uncertain.
All right. And 8's interpretation of this?
Oh, you're in trouble.
What?
Oh. Unique insight that your familiar grants you is this place is bad news.
Okay. And 8 talks out loud, so like the
And specifically, whatever you do, don't get split up.
Okay, we can do that. Everybody heard that? We should probably stay together. I don't think I have hair on my arms, but if I had hair, they would stand up on end. Just take a look, you know? Normally I have gills, but being up here, it's just so weird. My gills are on end. That's what's happening.
I don't have hair on my arms either.
Oh, nice. We
It's
should
just
compare arms
rock.
sometime. Oh,
I don't. I mean, so like when I injure it and it heals, the hair doesn't grow back immediately. But if I do this, it does. Oh.
Whoa.
Hold on. I can do better. And like a little bit of wolf fur starts growing over the parts of their arms that were damaged and that he healed up.
Can you teach me that? Ow! Nothing. Should I try again? Ow!
Ow, ow,
You gotta be a little bit louder, Tamal.
woo.
I
nothing.
think you need to be in water for that one.
Ah. Okay, but this is kind of serious business. Hey, look, Adam's hair standing up. See? That's what's supposed to happen when things are spooky. So maybe
I
if we
think I
all
just howled too hard.
Oh. Okay, cool. I'm gonna keep that in mind. I won't ever howl too hard then. Because one day I'm gonna get the hair. I will get hair in my arm. But until then, maybe we should all hold hands.
That seems pretty sensible to me. I offer my hands to some folks.
My hands are moist.
Well, mine are very dry, so maybe that'll even out.
Oh, good. Okay, I'll grab your hand, Tamal. Thank you.
I'll hold Adam's hand with my other one.
I'll hold Adam on the other side.
Perfect. So
Sophia is like, excuse me.
So the line right now, we have O, Yolanda, Adam, Tamal, and where's Gally? Is Gally on the Tamal side or on the O side?
Oh, you're muted,
Callie
Morgan.
is Morgan, you're so muted.
That would explain everything.
I saw your mouth moving.
Yeah, I was like, wait. I was like, oh, why is my thoughts not being conveyed?
Mood.
So wait, where are the two ends again? I thought it was Yolanda was on.
I
O
think
was
it
on one
supposed to be
side.
Yolanda. I was holding onto Tamal's hand because I have the wet
Oh.
Gotcha,
hands,
gotcha.
moist hands, and
Oh,
she has the
Tamal.
dry hands.
O Tamal,
Adam,
Yolanda.
Yolanda.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's either Yolanda, your choice.
Oh, okay, got it, got it. Now I got it figured out. I was getting confused at who's on the
Yeah.
end. Oh, okay, now I know what it is. So, I'm gonna hold Yolanda's hand, but before I do that, I'm going to hand O a bell. It's just like a normal bell. Um, and uh, and I'm just gonna say to O like, so this it's just a normal bell, but this the sound might be more honest than our eyes will be.
That's really cool. We don't have bells where I came from. Sound doesn't carry the same through water. When do I
And
shake it?
just keep shaking it regularly. It'll help us as long as we have one place to converge, then that'll help us stay together in case we
Okay.
get separated.
I will keep shaking the bell. And like you've just given them given her the task of her life.
I figured.
So good.
And I'll hold Yolanda's hands.
Sophia walks like. Oh, I know exactly what happens. Sophia focuses for a second, and then starts shrinking down smaller and smaller, compacting, until it is the size of a backpack, and mounts itself onto Adam. And so now Adam has a backpack with still one flamethrower extended at the ready.
Amazing.
Now I'm just imagining instead of the what that image, it's just like a badger wolf with like a tank like dome on top and
Right.
the flamethrower shooting out.
I was
Oh,
imagining the
it's so
Predator's arm cannon, except
Yeah,
a flamethrower.
All acceptable.
All super acceptable. Yeah. Yeah, no, Predator arm cannon is perfect. But like pointing backwards by default. It's watching his back.
Nice. That's really cool.
And you'll begin to head out into the temple. As you move through, you see glimpses of things you've heard about this temple from stories belonging to different groups not of your own. None of your conceptions of the temple are here. Who is taking point? Is it the O side of the line or the galley side of the line? Galley.
Gully.
Perfect. Oh, you're in the back. You're ringing your bell, right? What are you up to? Are you focusing on the bell? Are you focusing on your surroundings? Are you talking to the group?
Oh gosh. You know I'm focusing on the bell.
I know you're focusing on the bell. That's why I asked. So you ring the bell for a little bit, and at one point, the bell like slips out of your hands.
Oh.
Pick it up. Look. Yeah, it's fine. You look back at the group. You never let go of Tamal's hand, and you're still holding on to it. But it's not Tamal's hand. It's an empty metal suit of armor, a gauntlet from one.
Oh no.
And you look up and around. You find yourself in a domed arena. Underwater. The seating of this coliseum built out of coral intertwined. You've seen these before. You've never competed in them because you're not a fighter. But you've seen them from the outside. And then the gauntlet in your hand begins to warble. Yolanda,
Yes.
you're good at sensing illusions. They're the thing that define you. And so you sense something shifting before it does. What is your reaction when you sense an oncoming illusion? What is Yolanda's natural?
I think it's immediately to like she needs her hands in order to do spellcasting,
Mm-hmm.
but she basically like pushes both sets of hands up so they're between her armpits, and so she can keep doing casting. And she immediately tries to like invoke just some sort of bubble of protection around everyone.
Mm-hmm.
Just manipulate the energy around it to protect everyone and keep them enclosed in a space.
Perfect. Perfect. Um, and you do that. For a second, there's no illusions around you. And then the floor underneath you opens and swallows you in.
Just me?
Just you.
Shit.
Tamal, do you notice when O's hand is no longer in yours?
I think, yeah.
What is your reaction?
What is my sensation? Is it just like the sensation of her
You-
hand just vanishes?
You have, like, for a few seconds, you feel like a phantom hand, but I don't think the illusion is as effective on you, and so it fades very quickly.
Nice. And I turn back around, looking kind of shocked. Nobody there?
Nobody there. There's just a
Uh,
long
I-
hallway. And you
I
look
go,
back and you realize you've been walking down this hallway for a few miles, that looks like?
Jeez, that's great. Uh, I go, oh, that's not good. And I reach into my portal in my arm, and I'm trying to grab like a length of chain or something useful that I can like try and tie some of us together with.
Perfect. And you do that, and you're able to pull that out. And then turn around. Do you go to turn around?
Yeah.
And, yeah. And for a second, Adam isn't there. But then, whatever separated you is pretty quickly overcome by the fact that Sophia's life force is bound to you.
Nice.
And
This is just rubber
just-
bands, and then
Yeah.
they
the
both
rubber
come
band.
flying back.
And you find yourself alone, but the hallway on the other end extends for a mile or so. But at the end, you see a light, and not just any light. It's a light you can identify anywhere. The light of a forge fire.
Ooh.
Gally,
Yeah.
as you're traveling with your group, you see across the walls signs, prayers, rituals, carvings to the wanderers. Your wandering god, and other ones too. The crosswinds is here, but so are the riptides. All of the different beliefs around who guides travel and who guides pathways. And some even older than anything you know or anything that still survives. Until you find yourself back in the courtyard. And the wind begins to blow around you from each and every direction, picking up. Yolanda, back to you. You find yourself in an oh so familiar place. You know, I was kind of curious to see what that temple was doing. But you had to go and ruin the fun, didn't you? So I guess you and I have a chat now.
Is this where you went?
And on that, we cut to O. O, the gauntlet, the armor that you saw, pulls back. And then Coral starts extracting from the very seats and infrastructure of the arena, forming a full-born coral automaton with a single metal gauntlet to face you. And
Oh no.
then people start to be seen in the crowds. The faces of people from your village cheering you on as an announcer. Oh, What destroyed your village?
I don't think I knew.
Then, what you see. What does O picture when she pictures what destroyed her village?
It's bipedal, menacing, humanoid features, but wildly exaggerated. You know, hunched over shoulders, arms that are so long they drag on the ground. What use is that underwater? Only a creature as poorly made as that would come underwater and destroy the things that matter most to me.
Oh god. So you see sitting in in the center box, like the best view of the arena, the one with the announcing equipment. A humanoid figure, as you described, but its long arms are gracefully crossed. Its back imposes menacingly, towering over the field. Its perfect blonde hair and sparkling blue eyes shine and says, "Let's see you fight, since that's what you want to do so badly."
I am stronger now. You know I can fight and defeat you. Why don't you fight me yourself, you weakling?
You are nothing more than entertainment, and not particularly entertaining at that. That's where we cut away. Final shot takes us back outside to the island where you first landed. A whale flies by the whale y'all left sleeping out there, and it turns to its companions. This entire conversation happens now in whale sounds. Hey, what are you doing sleeping up here? Oh, you know, just waiting for the folks I dropped off for when they're ready to head back. I hate to break it to you, there's no one on this island. Oh, no worries, they just stepped into that building over there. What building? And look over, and the doorway is gone. Whale, this is awkward. And that's what we'll call it.
Wow.
I feel like there's someone's gonna have to clip either myself or Alex just doing a pun reaction and just turn it into a GIF.
Anyways,
Oh,
that is our
that-
session. Thank you all
Yep.
so much for stopping, and we're poised right for action next time. So hope you all are ready for
Yay.
that. For now, though, you can swash your blades and unpolish your capes because we're done for now. I'm gonna head this off to Angela because I'm losing my words. Angela, please tell everyone where they can find you and what you do.
Yeah, pass the buck over. Pass the buck. Hello there, everyone. I'm Angela, otherwise known as Phoenix24Fem on Twitter, where I'm normally posting usually just retweets of different BIMPOC artists or queer-related topics, or just political news that's happening either in the US or around the world. And also, where on Tuesdays and Thursdays, I post both older works and a weekly new poem coming from my Patreon, where you can find me at Philosophem, where I am a professional writer, and currently I have 190 poems available for viewing up there. Half of them are patron locked, and the other half are publicly available. And there's one happening every Thursday, going up at 4 p.m. PST, 7 p.m. EST, where I write about a lot of different topics, anywhere from kind of TTRPG scene reactions to trauma to trans issues to politics to the recent poem I put about a lot of complicated feelings about motherhood as a trans woman. But you can also catch me over at All Nerds Here, where we just finished up our season, our this past season, and we're going to be taking a little bit of a break. But tune in a few months where we've got some amazing shows that are in the works, and also check out our VODs over at the All Nerds Here Twitch channel for all of our past seasons, where we have amazing games that our delightful Alex has also been a part of in one of our other casts on Wednesdays. Uh, my podcast with my partner of almost 10 years now is a relationship podcast called Queerly Yours, where we both talk about a lot of different things related to transness, queerness, communication, and just a lot of stuff that's valuable to keeping a relationship afloat. And also, I'm a professional freelancer when it comes to music and themes. I'm currently working on some themes and potentially will have a client within the next week or so. But if you need themes for your TTRPG streams or your websites, find me through my email. That is also, I believe, linked through my link tree on my Twitter page. So yeah, I think that covers pretty much everything I'm involved with right now, but I have some things in the works.
Hell yeah. Wonderful, wonderful. Morgan.
Hello, I'm Morgan. You can find me at magpie_mirror on Twitter, and I'm also a game designer. And you can find my games at nestedgames.itch.io. And while I don't have anything to plug, I'll use this opportunity to plug Chimera, the game we played today. Which it now has a playtest packet. Also at is it chimera.itch.io?
Yep,
Or
chimera.itch.io.
yeah.
If you want to find it easier, play.chimera.games is a reroute link.
And to sell you on this, you can get Chimera to see even more things than is shown on this stream, like an entire new genre of story, aka magical girls.
True.
So go get it. Go and have fun mixing and matching genres, just like the designers intended.
Thank you. Alex.
Hi everyone, I'm Alex. You can find me on Twitter at a Fractal Dragon, and I design games at fractaldragon.itch.io. I also design games on Unplaytested, which is a super fun podcast just coming back from hiatus. We have just put out The Marks We Leave Behind, a game about being a wanderer returning to a city that was once important to you and navigating through various weird factions by drawing on and changing your own body. So that's fun. That's going to be a cool one that we'll be playing soon. And also on the Forever GM podcast, we just finished up our End of the World season, which was really cool. And next we're going to be playing my game Dragon Hearts on there in a little bit. So get your subscriptions ready for that.
Awesome. And finally, our double special, B.
Hello, it is I, your busy non-binary B. You can find me on Twitter as at B_Zelda. I'm a podcaster, a member of the Broadswords, a D&D podcast. I'm also releasing a new podcast called Anime Attaché, where I teach. So believe it or not, there are people in the world that have just not seen anime, and I don't think that's real. So we're making a podcast about me talking about anime, and we're watching season 1 of My Hero Academia, and so far they're loving it. So go ahead and give that account a follow. We will be releasing episodes hopefully by the end of the month. I am also a regular TTRPG streamer. I did a tally of how many streams I appeared on, or I will appear on this month, and it's going to be 10. So, just to give you a small snippet of my regularly weekly streams, on Wednesdays I stream Salty Sweet Gaming, where I play 100,000 bugs in the shape of a wallaby. On Thursday mornings, I play a game of D&D where I am a blood hunter monk who honestly doesn't do combat. They don't have time for that. They just don't care. I am doing a handful of charity streams every Saturday this month, it looks like. And for some horrible reason, I'm playing Pathfinder on Saturday. I hate math, so wish me luck. You know what? We're going to leave the plugs there because I don't want to keep saying words.
A small sampling, everyone. And I guess finally, that leaves me. Hello, I'm Amoras. I am your GM, host, and yes, co-designer of this game that you can now acquire. So if you want to check it out, you can get a latest version. And if you buy it now, you will get access to all future updates to all this play material. So, neat. Other than that, I do writing stuff, because there is no such thing as rest. I do streams. You can catch me tomorrow, and Saturday mornings on the Lark Network, playing Super Splash of Color, an all Bimpog Masks campaign with a phenomenal cast and crew. And tomorrow evening you can catch me on Wandering DM's channel as part of our Omens Rising Alpha Playtest campaign. That's my primary place where you can catch me right now. But yeah, thank you all so much for stopping by. It is wonderful having you here. I hope you enjoyed. Stick around for the raid. Bye!